Hello all, welcome to another session in this course. As part of this session, I'm going to cover the next topic, that is local and global variables. So let's get started. First of all, what exactly are these local and global variables in JavaScript? What are local variables? Okay, and what are global variables? Local variables and global variables in JavaScript language. In JavaScript, the variables which are created inside the functions or inside the blocks are called as local variables. So what are local variables in JavaScript? In JavaScript, the variables that are created inside the functions or inside the blocks. It can be either functions or blocks, are local variables, okay? Are nothing but local variables. The variables that are created inside the functions or blocks are called as local variables. Example or examples. I'll give an example of a local variable which is created inside a function. Okay. So here there is a JavaScript file. Inside that file, there is a function. Okay. Let's say this function name is sample1, and this is the starting of the function and this is the ending of the function. Now here guys, here if you say let a is equal to 5, like this, if you have created this variable a is nothing but a local variable. Why? This variable is actually declared and created inside a function. Okay. The starting of the function, the ending of the function. Since this particular variable is created inside the function, this is called as a local variable. Okay. This is called as a local variable. Now another example I am going to give. Okay. Another example I am going to give for the local variables. What is another example I am going to give for the local variables? The example is simple, guys. Okay. The example is simple. The same variable, okay, the variable that is created inside the blocks are also called as local variables. For example, here I'm not creating a function, rather I am creating a if condition statement, A grade. Otherwise, I'll just mention, A greater than B. Okay. Now here, this is a if block having this if condition and the starting of the if block, ending of the if block, and here you are creating some variable. Let x is equal to 10. Now in this case, in this particular code, the variable that is created inside this if block, okay, this block is also called as a local variable. Variables that are created inside the functions or inside the blocks in JavaScript are known as local variables. Okay, these are local variables. These are the things for local variables. Then what are global variables? Then what are global variables? What are global variables? Variables, okay, the variables that are created outside the functions or outside the blocks directly under the JavaScript file. Okay, directly under the JavaScript file, you created the variables outside the functions and blocks are called as global variables. Okay, so here I'll write on variables that are created directly under the, okay, directly under the JavaScript file outside the functions or blocks, okay, are global variables. Okay, example. For example, here I'll say let I'll give something. Let m is equal to 9. Here there is a function. Okay, function demo1 function. Okay, demo1 function is there. This is nothing but the demo1 function, guys. Okay, function name, starting of the function, ending of the function, and here this particular variable. Okay, this particular variable yum is not created inside the function, rather it is created outside the function. So this variable is called as this is a global variable. Directly under the JavaScript file, if you create a variable, that is called as a global variable. Okay, here one more example I can take, the same thing here. For example, there is some if condition, if, okay, A greater than B. like this. If I am writing the code, okay, I'm not creating any variable inside this if block or inside this function, but I'm creating the, okay, assume that this is a JavaScript file. Assume that this particular box is a JavaScript file. In that there is a function, there is a if block and all, but this particular variable em is created directly under the JavaScript file outside this function and if block. Such kind of variable em, okay, in this case is called as a global variable. So you can declare these variables either with let or const, okay, that you already know. But okay, whether you declare these variables with let or const, but this variable is created directly under the JavaScript file outside the functions or blocks are called as global variables. The variables which are declared with either let or const keyword, but they are created with inside the function block or inside the function or inside the if block or blocks of code is are nothing but the local variable. This is also a local variable, okay. So hope guys you got a clarity of what exactly the local variables and global variables are. Okay, let me now practically demonstrate them for you. So after you understand what exactly are local variables and global variables, what exactly are local, let me delete these previous examples. Okay, these are not required. I'll be creating fresh JavaScript files for us. Okay, okay, I'll just create a JavaScript file. Let's say 1.js. This JavaScript file, and here I'm going to create a variable. I'll say let a is equal to 5 is a variable. Okay. Let a is equal to 5 is a variable. Now I'll create a function, sample function. The name of the function is sample. And here I'm going to create a variable let b is equal to 10 like this. Let b is equal to 10. Now I'm going to create an if block. If, okay, if, what I can say, if there's one condition I need to give guys is, okay, if a is greater than 1, okay, if a is greater than 1, here I'll write down let c is equal to, let c is equal to 15. Like this, if I create, now in this particular example, what are local variables, what are global variables? A variable, whether it is declared with let or const, but is created inside the function, okay, starting and ending of the function, this is a local variable. It is a local variable. A variable that is declared and created, okay, here I have to say let c is equal to, okay, a variable that is declared and created with either let keyword or const keyword and okay, inside the block, okay, in this case if block, okay, the starting of the block, this ending of the block, this particular variable is also a local variable. And a variable, guys, which is created outside these functions or if blocks is called as a global variable, okay, global variable. Now if I try to print, okay, if I try to print the variable a, will the value 5 will be printed or not? Will the value 5 will be printed or not? Yes, it will be printed because it is a global variable. A variable that is declared directly under the JavaScript file outside this functions and blocks are called as global variables, and the global variables can be accessed throughout the JavaScript file, okay, without any problem. You see, 5 got printed. When you print console.log of A, it got printed. What if I try to print B and C? Will they be printed? One of the variable which is created inside the function, this is a local variable, okay, here it is local here only, okay, it cannot be accessed outside. If you try to access this variable b outside this function, okay, it will not print this 10, okay. I'll try to print abc here, and let's see what is going to happen here. Let's say clear, and or I can simply say a comma b comma c, okay. So I don't have to write so many print statements here, only one print statement task will be done. You see what is happening, guys? A is fine, okay? For A, there's no problem. Or else I'll do one thing. B, I'll print separately. C separately, and then I'll just clear this so that we will not get errors as it if, okay? We got there. First 5 got printed, guys. When I printed A, the 5 got printed. After that, when I try to print B, we got an error. Okay, when I try to print B, we got an error. B is not defined, it is saying, because B is a local variable. If I try to print B here within inside this function, if I try to print B, then it's okay. Okay, I can print the value of this variable B within the function, but not outside the function. This is not possible. Okay. I need to comment this. Okay. Instead of this, I need to call this function, that is sample function, like this you call. Okay. When you call the sample function, the code inside the function will get executed and B will be assigned with 10. And when you print B, the value of B, that is 10, will get printed. Okay. Coming to C, okay. C also, now A and B will be resolved. Okay. Because within the function, I am just printing the variable B. So it will be okay. See, 5 and 10 got printed, A and then I call this function. Within the function, this particular B can be accessible and the value of B got printed. But coming to C, we got an error, okay? Undefined. Same thing, is not defined because block scoped. Variable is function scoped and block scoped, guys, okay? A variable created inside the function or block, okay? Are local variables, they are function and block scope. They cannot be accessed outside the function or blocks. Within the function only you can access, okay? Here if I write C, then it will be okay, guys. Okay, then it will be okay. So let's see what will happen. You cannot access it outside, guys. I just comment this out. Okay, so what will happen when I run this code? A will be 5 and okay, function code will not be called now. So here A is greater than 1. Yes, that is true. So let's C is equal to 59. But A is 5. 5 greater than 1 is true. So the value of C, that is 15, will get printed. Then the value of A, that is 5, will get printed. Then when you call this function, this code will get executed. The value of the B, that is what is that value? 10 will get printed. Okay. First 15, 5, 10 should be printed. Okay. 15, 5, 10 should be printed, guys. Okay. 15, 5 and 10 should be printed. Just give me a second. First 15 will be printed, then 5 will be printed, then 10 will be printed. 15, 5, 10. Okay. So variables that are declared either with let keyword or const keyword within the function or inside the blocks are called as local variables. Variables that are declared outside the functions or blocks are called as global variables. Global variables can be accessed throughout the JavaScript file, whereas local variable, the scope of this particular variable is up to this function only. Okay, the scope of this variable C is up to this block only. Okay, outside the block or function, we cannot access this variables, local variables. Okay. So hope guys you got some idea about this local variables in practical also. Here I have some notes, guys. Okay, just to cross check that I have covered everything for you regarding the local and global variables, I would like to open this notes. Okay, there will be some extra information about the local and global variables. Let's see that here and then confirm that and then we can complete the session. Okay. You already know what is a variable in one of the previous session. Okay, under the JavaScript basics, I already covered about what exactly are variables. Now we are only talking about global variables and local variables. Okay, so here global variables, a variable that is directly created under the JavaScript file outside the functions and blocks are called as local variables. Same thing. Okay, what is a you see, you can also access this global variable within the function, outside the function, everywhere. Okay. So if I try to print the value of this B, I can access it here also. Okay. I can access this variable A here also. Okay. Within the function also. But a variable that is created within the function cannot be accessed outside. A can be accessed throughout the JavaScript file. Here also you can say CLG of A. It will work fine without any problem. It will work fine, guys. Okay, outside the functions, outside within the functions, within the blocks, everywhere you can access a global variable. Okay, so just let's open the terminal and let me run it here. Okay, new terminal and here you just write down here, just run the code. You see the variable A5 is getting printed 3 times. Okay, so here first it got printed inside the function. You see I can access this global variable within the function. I can access it throughout the JavaScript file, guys. Okay, unlike B and C, which are local variables which can be accessed only within the functions and blocks, variable A is a global variable which can be accessed inside the function, outside the function, inside the block, outside the block, everywhere. Okay, that's one thing you need to learn about the global variables. Okay, next thing, local variables, variables created inside the function or okay, when you try to access this variable which is created inside a function, outside the function, if you are trying to access, local variable is not defined here, will error will come. Already we have seen that. Okay. And there is a even block also, same concept for block also, guys, same concept for block also. You see within the block also this particular variable let y is equal to 20. Okay, y, okay, y is block scoped. Okay, function scoped and block scoped. Y is both function scope and block scope. And the last thing about the variables I have to explain here is variable shadowing. Okay, there will be one situation that may arise for you guys, that is let me show you what is the situation. If I create a JavaScript file here and here I'll say let a is equal to 5. Okay, here I'll create a function, sample function. Here I'll say let a is equal to 10. So the problem here is, okay, if I say console.log a and here if I say uh, console.log a, okay, here this a variable a, which is declared and created outside the function, is a global variable. This is a global variable. The value of the global variable is 5. Now within the function also, the same exact variable which is a global variable I created again using the let keyword declared and create again inside the function also. I assigned the value 10 to this variable, and when I try to print this value of the variable a here, okay. So you see here when I call this function, what will be printed? What will be the output of this program otherwise? Okay. What will be the output of this program, guys? What is the output of this program? First, the global variable a is declared with the let keyword, created and declared with the let keyword is initialized with the value 5. A is holding 5 here. Then the function situation will come. Since we have not called the function yet, this code will not be executed, but it will be noted out. Then when I call the function, when I call this sample function, the sample function will be called, and here let a is equal to 10. This is a local variable. Okay. The same global variable is recreated as a local variable. Okay. So the scope of this variable a within the inside the function is up to the function only. When I try to print the value of this variable a, 5 will be printed or 10 will be printed. Global variable value will be 5 will be printed here, or global local variable value of this variable a, that is 10, will be printed. So here what happens in this situation is local variable will shadow the global variable. Okay. Inside this function, when you are inside this function, when the code inside the function is getting executed, if the local variable and global variable are same, okay, inside that function, okay, so local variable will shadow the global variable. That means shadow means this will hide this value of this variable a. Okay, since the local variable and global variable are there, if it is not there means 5 will be printed here. Okay, if this particular statement is not there means what will happen? A is equal to 5. It's a global variable. Here when you print a, 5 will be printed. But if it is there, if the local variable with the same name having a different value is there means this variable local variable will shadow the global variable. So 10 will be given the preference within the function, and here 10 will be printed. Now once you come out of the function, when you print console.log of a, the global variable value which is accessible everywhere will be printed. So here 5 will be printed. Within the function 10 will be given the preference, and outside the function 5 will be there. Okay. The variable outside the function and within the function are having the same name with different values. The variable which is there inside the function will shadow the variable which is a outside the function with the same name, that is a global variable. So here 10 will be printed within the function. Here outside the function, okay, the scope of this local variable is up to this function only. So global variable will be given preference here. So here 5 will be printed. Okay. Let me run this code node2.js. You see, first I called the function, sample function got called. Here let a is equal to 10, which will shadow this global variable. So here a will be printed as 10. After that, once you come out of the function, next one is console.log of a. Here global variable 5 value will be printed. Okay. So hope guys you understood what exactly is variable shadowing. Okay. This is an additional topic. If in case the global variable and local variable have the same name, within the function that local variable will be given the preference and it will shadow the global variable. Outside the function, the global variable will be considered. Okay. So this is all about the local and global variables, guys. Okay. At a high level, or considering the nodes and all, this is what is all about the local and global variables. So we are done with local and global variables in this session. So in the next session, I'm going to cover the next topic for you. Okay. Till then, see you. Bye bye.